Good morning, flower fans. This is Madonna from Eastside Flower Farm, Los Angeles, California. Zone 9, I just wanted to show you some pretty little flowers I harvested this morning. I have a couple bouquets to do today. Aren't they pretty? This is, I think, my all-time favorite, Michaela Miranda. She's just beautiful every single time. The Cafe au Lait, she changes all the time. Sometimes she's a little darker and sometimes she's a little blushier. Right now she just looks very muted. But I'm going to show you today, quickly, a project that we are making. We have decided to do some raised beds, and we use culverts. So I was going to show you real quickly, maybe not so quick, but I'm going to show you what we do. So this is our project, our next project right here, that we're trying to get ready for fall planting. So we have used culverts here. We took 20-foot culverts and cut them in half. We used them for raised beds for my dahlias. So we have just ripped out two here. We had two more, another row of two right here, and we took them out because what I've discovered is these ones are not deep enough for the dahlias. So the dahlias and these don't do really well. So we're gonna use them for a different project. So I'm going to take you through. See, some of these are okay. They don't do well. What has done well is we went to these bigger culverts right here, and the dahlias do superb in these ones because there's more dirt. I don't think there's enough dirt in the smaller ones for the dahlias. So these ones have done really well. I just harvested this morning, so there's not really anything there. But I'm going to kind of show you what we did. So we're going to walk into our dry field. So Wally is an avid C-list hunter, and so he goes on there looking all the time for things that people don't need anymore. And so here's a culvert, 20-foot section culvert. So what he did was he cut it in half. So it was one 20-foot section culvert. So he cut it in half. He made a string line on the outside of it, and you can cut them by a handsaw or a skill saw. And so what we did is he then put some drain holes in the bottom of it. And if your drain holes are too big where gophers can get through, then you want to put a really tight screen down, which we've done that too. So this was the first one that he tried. And he actually made concrete pieces to go on the end of it. And then he screwed them in. I don't know if you can see that. He screwed them in right there. Well, obviously, that's really heavy with the concrete ends. I mean, if they're where you want them to be, that's fine. So what he figured out on the second set when we got these bigger ones, and he cut them in half, is he used corrugated roofing and much lighter. And so you have to excuse the weeds, it's the end of summer. So he put that in, and then he drilled some holes for the rebar, put rebar in there to hold them in place. And the thing is, you know, with these, you can leave them right where you want to leave them, or they can be moved if you have a tractor. So we just dumped these two over. We dumped the dirt out of them. So what we're gonna do with those, and Wally's kind of one of those people, I come up with a suggestion and he wants it one and done. So he doesn't want to do wood because, you know, in our heat and there's water in it all the time, they're good for a few years and then you have to redo them. Well, we're getting older, and the last thing I want to do is when we're older, you know, 5 years from now, is redo the whole thing. So he always looks for a one and done. So I think those culverts are the perfect thing. So what we're going to do with those is here's our project that we're doing right now, and we're kind of going with the speed of cash. So this is going to be, a lot of people are doing tunnels and stuff, and again, he doesn't want to deal with the plastic because, you know, every few years you do have to redo those. So we had concrete pad poured from John Edwards Construction, and then we got this metal building from Pacific Buildings, and we put it up, And it's not huge, but it's big enough for me. So, okay, so then I stained it. Of course, you would not want to be anything other than straight and sober when you walked in here, because I wanted to stain it like a chain link fence, and it's pretty darn cool. So I'm always painting or playing around with colors all the time. So it's a little dizzying, but it kind of looks cool too. So there's my chain link stain fence on the inside. So here's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna put windows all right here. So this faces south. So the sun's just coming up right there. So in the winter time, this whole north side that's going to be covered with glass is going to be perfect for the winter time, because the sun will come in as it travels, and I'm gonna put those two culverts that are over the raised beds, we're gonna actually put in here, and this is gonna be my little greenhouse. So we will have glass here on the front. We will have 2 sliding doors on either end of this, and then this back part where this beam is right here, we're gonna put a wall across there. So it'll be separated off the last, 4 feet, it'll be separated off, and that's where I'm gonna dry my flowers. So I will have my flowers hanging in there. I have a lot more space than I have now. And then this whole front section, I'll have probably 3 20-foot culverts in here, and that's where I will do my tulips, my anemones, my ranunculus, and freesia. So everything that shouldn't be outside in the elements, I will be doing in there. So that will extend my growing season, and that's going to be really cool. And so I have the best gopher remedy. Remember, I was talking about the culverts. If you don't want the gophers to go through, you have to put holes in them. Here's the best thing that works. All those traps and things, they might work for a little bit, but this is the best gopher piece of equipment you can buy. Little Stevie, isn't she beautiful? She's so pretty. Anyway, she takes good care of our gophers the majority of the time. So that, if you're gonna invest in a gopher trap, that's what I would buy. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna make a path this fall. I cannot wait for fall projects, because I love to do projects. So I'm gonna actually brick this all the way to here. So in the winter time, when I walk out of the house, it will be all gravel. So I will walk from the back of our house down this gravel path. These are the knockouts. I'm taking these out. They're just ugly and I don't like them. So I'm gonna replace those this year. So I will walk, hi Stevie Mom. So I will walk all the way out from here. I'm gonna pave all this. I'm gonna take this out and redo it. And then it will go to the greenhouse. So that's our fun little project for this fall, and I'm very much looking forward to starting it, and our windows should be in this next week, so I will keep you posted. All right, thanks guys, have a good day.